consumers talk about since they've lost their loved one, all the hassles, all the hoops they've had to jump through just to change electric bills, to change garbage bills. One of the biggest aspects of someone's financial life, we're creating an experience that is probably the easiest for them to navigate, is pretty rewarding. And to hear those consumers on the end of that and how appreciative they are, it's pretty powerful.
Welcome to the Elevating Leaders series, where we go beyond the headlines and straight to the people who are redefining insurtech and business transformation. We've caught up with the visionaries and the pioneers that are currently driving the industry forward, bringing you exclusive insights, strategies, and stories you won't hear anywhere else. If you're ready to go deeper, this is your front row seat to the future of insurance. I'm Miguel Edwards, and this is 5 Minutes.
Thank you so much for joining us here on another episode of 5 Minutes. I appreciate you making your time out of your busy ITC schedule to be here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So Keith, I have a typical question that I ask at the start of every one of these sessions, because I have now met two people who decided to start a career in insurance early on, like before college. But that's not the case for most of us, I believe. What was your entry point into this marvelous industry?
Well, interestingly enough, it wasn't my chosen profession when I went through college.
Sure.
But I have a twin brother, and he started an insurance career right after college.
Okay.
And saw that he was having some success and thought, if he can do it, I can do it, and that's kind of where it started.
Wow. So not necessarily playing in college, but early on in the career, you
relatively early, and it's just been a fun journey ever since.
All right, I'm going to put that as a 2.5. In terms of my 2.5 people that I have met that have started. No, awesome, man. So talk to me a little bit about where you are in your career now and what you do now.
Yeah, so I work for TrueStage, and I work in our life distribution area. So this is where we look for distribution partners to distribute our life insurance products to consumers.
Okay.
So I'm out finding our next partners.
Got it. Makes good sense on the distribution side. So as you're thinking about finding your next distribution partners, what is your value proposition as a carrier to those distribution partners? And I'm thinking, I'm running the gamut from ease of doing business to technology, all those dynamics. What's the selling point for TrueStage?
Yeah, and I think it's really just two areas in particular that really stand out. So when we work with distributors, we really look to find folks that are laser focused on broad middle market consumers, household income, $150,000 or less.
Okay.
Trying to scale that middle market customer, it's tough for a lot of folks. And so we look for folks that have an appetite for that particular audience. And one of the things that we really do to differentiate ourselves is all of our products are 100% instant decisioned.
Okay.
So we're laser focused on making it simple for consumers to go through the purchase journey. Consumer can enroll online in about 7 to 10 minutes. That's start to finish. So all of our products have anywhere from 2 to 8 underwriting questions and a real-time prescription database pull, all e-signature and voice signature enabled. So it really makes it for a slick consumer engagement.
Sure.
When a consumer engages with our experience. The other thing that we've done is we've also built some really good tech integration for our partners. So when we look at distribution partners, when we started doing this, and we've only been in this particular vertical for about 5 years.
Oh, wow.
We've been selling life insurance for about 90 years, but in this particular way, just for about 5. And so we've built really good tech integrations. So we have an API-enabled e-app process that allows all of our kind of front-end quoting to reside on a partner's digital property.
Okay.
And then we've also built kind of next generation where the whole purchase journey can reside natively on a partner's digital property.
Got it.
So they never have a speed bump to go to our e-app or ever leave a partner's website.
I love that. So you're using distribution to broker this relationship with a prospective client. That partner, that distribution partner, gets to keep the face of that interaction on their kind of digital assets or whatever it is, you're connecting into their environment, leveraging APIs, such that the customer never senses that they're leaving the broker, yet
Correct.
they're still leveraging all of your advanced technology for the decisioning.
That is correct.
Fantastic. It's essentially white labeled all that technology.
Yeah, so it's been iterative, and
Yep.
we're just in market with our first partner, and probably by mid next year we'll be looking to expand partnerships in this space with
Got
the
it.
full kind of digital journey built.
Now you mentioned that you've got 100% automated decisioning. I'm imagining there is a referral process. So no?
Never touches an underwriter.
Ever.
So basically it's 2 to 8 underwriting questions depending upon the product.
Okay.
And then coupled with a real-time prescription database score,
Yep.
those two things work in concert to render a decision. And it's 100% instant decisioned. So what ends up happening, and we also have a pretty broad funnel, so about 70% of the risks that come in that funnel qualify for coverage.
Got it.
And it's one rate. So if we quote a consumer $50 for $100,000 of term insurance, they answer the 7 underwriting questions,
Right.
the real-time prescription database pull, they immediately get that decision. And for those consumers that fall out, we also have a guaranteed acceptance whole life product. It's really our
Okay.
mission to
Got it.
anyone that comes into our buying funnel, we want to make sure they have an offer for coverage.
That makes sense.
Because at the end of the day, they're coming in with intent to buy. They want to protect their family in case something bad happens for them. And we want to be able to provide coverage for them when they need it and how they want it.
Love that. So just to recap, I heard a couple things that are interesting to me as a former life guy, is that you've got now a process where, first off, I hear 100% in good order applications come through. That's what I'm hearing, which is the holy grail, right, for life companies. So I go at 100, and then you've got an offer for 100% of who comes in.
Essentially,
Yeah.
there's a few that fall out just because our guaranteed acceptance whole life product starts at age 45.
Okay.
So if folks that fall out of the funnel that are younger than 45, that's where they would fall out.
Got it. This seems to be like the best of all worlds for any distribution partner. What resistance or what friction are you running into in this space?
Yeah, so we're 100% a convenience play.
Okay.
So when we engage with consumers, we want to engage with folks that are looking to buy, and we try to make it as simple for them to get through the process as we possibly can. And we're not always going to be the cheapest. So, if you're a consumer that, is price-based, or if you're a distributor that's 100% price-based, we're not low-cost provider. We
Right.
want to provide and protect as many consumers as we can.
So the process is very tech-enabled. What are you seeing on the horizon as far as innovation? What's what's next? Yeah, I got to believe you're thinking about that already.
Yeah, and I think we're just starting to kind of get on the cusp of embedded life insurance and finding partners that can embed us in experiences.
Yeah.
So we're just at kind of the front end of that. We're getting our first couple of use cases in market, probably here in the next 60 days. So it'll be exciting to actually see that come to life. Everyone has different definitions what embedded insurance is.
Sure.
But just kind of looking where everybody, if you look at the last probably 5 to 10 years, every conversation's been about data, how to leverage data, embedded insurance, AI.
Sure.
And I think it's really the convergence of all three of those things coming to a head right now.
Right.
And I think the folks that can harness that and can work within those models and leverage data to find the right consumers kind of in the right time to really start serving up opportunities and quotes. The other thing about our process and our program is with 3 pieces of information, we could render a quote. We just need a consumer's age, gender, and zip code. So it really makes a nice experience for an embedded offer. If someone's buying another product, for instance, that life insurance could be a natural next best product.
Sure.
I think we're a little bit out ahead of the curve and are happy to find ways to explore and really kind of grow that side of our business.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So I got to believe AI is playing something of a role as you start thinking about that data and you think about those data elements. How are you looking at AI? I mean, we can't be at ITC and not talk about AI.
Yeah, and I think AI, when we think about our partners and some of them that are leveraging AI, it's really in the selection modeling, trying to figure out what product's going to work best for what consumer.
Sure.
And really trying to serve up offers that are meaningful. And I think AI is a great enabler to help distributors do that.
Yeah, no, that makes good sense. What challenges are you seeing, Keith, from just an overall talent perspective? When we were in the keynote this morning, we talked about a number of different dynamics in the industry, and obviously we talked about climate risk, we talked about data and analytics, we talked about digital modernization and customer experience, and we also talked about this looming talent crisis. I got to believe, particularly in the life and health space, but the life space has to have a certain of a kind of interesting bent on that. What are you guys thinking about from that perspective?
And really what I look at it, you look at folks that have grown up in the life business, a lot of times they're passionate about it.
Right.
It's mission driven, it's emotional, and I think there's real purpose in the work of selling life insurance and trying to protect consumers and protect their families in case something really bad happens. And I do think the younger generation, coming up out of school, and they're very much mission driven. They're for a cause. And
Sure.
I think, to me, the future is relatively bright when I think about what the insurance industry has to offer folks that are socially conscious and want to make the world a better place. I think an insurance policy, you don't have to look any more than the news. You look at what happened down in Florida last week. People are dying, people are losing their homes. And if you really want to help people, this is a great industry where you could really help people make a difference.
That makes a lot of sense. I hear the passion coming through. I get loud and clear.
I get kind of rubbed up.
Yeah, no, I know you do. So if you take that as a kind of a next step and you think about your legacy in the industry or even the legacy of your organization, what are you guys thinking about in terms of how you're going to leave this insurance world, a better place?
Yeah, at TrueStage, we believe a brighter financial future should be accessible to everyone. And I really think that's kind of the mission, the mantra that we all kind of embrace and embody in the organization. And I really think that's probably what's going to be our company's legacy, is the fact that we care about consumers and we want to protect families. And we not only make good on the front end. So when you think about buying life insurance, when you buy life insurance, you're buying a promise. You're buying a promise that when something bad happens to me, my family's going to be taken care of. And we've not only digitized and automated the front end of our experience, we've also automated that claims process as well, to the point where almost 40% of consumers who call in, or beneficiaries for life insurance policies, when they call in, a couple pieces of information to corroborate, we will automatically make a claim payment in a one-and-done experience in about 40% of the cases.
Wow.
80% of all claims calls are typically handled in 10 days or less. And for a company that works in, instant issue marketplace, those are some pretty impressive numbers.
It is.
And, to hear the folks, a lot of times we'll kick off team meetings or bigger organizational meetings with claim calls. To hear the impact that has on a consumer's or a beneficiary's life. You think about losing a loved one and how impactful that is.
Sure.
It's amazing to hear, consumers talk about, since they've lost their loved one, all the hassles, all the hoops they've had to jump through.
That's right.
Just to change electric bills, to change garbage bills.
Yeah.
And here, one of the biggest aspects of someone's financial life, we're creating an experience that is probably the easiest for them to navigate, is pretty rewarding. And to hear those consumers on the end of that call and how appreciative they are of how easy we made it for them to collect on these policies is, like when I said, mission, driven organization. it's pretty powerful.
No, that is powerful indeed, and obviously then if you're following that line of thinking, the passion comes super easy, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because there's the easy impact there that you're having.
Yep.
DEI is a term that has unfortunately been co-opted and it's almost taboo to talk about sometimes, right? But it's been a passion of mine from the beginning. I was executive sponsor of multiple ERGs when I was my time at Allstate. It seems as though TrueStage still does an incredible amount of work in this space. What's going on?
That's very much part of what we do organizationally. Angela Russell, who heads up our DE&I initiative, she talks about this isn't something that's bolted on. This is something that's built in.
Into the fabric.
And so we've been really focused on DE&I for a number of years, probably going back 5-7 years, and have really invested a lot into our ERGs with employees. And you could just tell how it permeates the culture at the organization.
Sure. And I imagine you actually see organizational lift, you see financial results, right? I mean, it brings benefit to the organization beyond just simply talking about statistics.
Oh, for sure. And just, it always kind of makes you think kind of in the back of your mind too about points of view and thinking about where consumers are coming from, so you're not making decisions in a vacuum. And when you look at, the consumers that we serve, it's broad middle market consumers, and people come in all shapes and sizes and colors. And you got to make sure that you're providing good, meaningful products for them and where they are in their lives.
100%. So last question for you to close out. We're at ITC Vegas 2024, 9,000 people here. What are you looking to get out of this event? What are you hoping to go home with?
Yeah, for us, it's really making new friends, seeing what opportunities are out there, what things are on the horizon. So for us, that's what we get excited about when we come here, my team and I, and even the greater team who's here, is just seeing what's new, seeing what people are thinking about, and just thinking about the possibilities for tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Good deal. All right, Keith. Well, I thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. I know you're super busy and you're off to another session, but really, once again, appreciate the time and hope to have you back on the show again soon, man.
Appreciate it as well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Keith.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.